I'm Heather Becker Hulswit. I am a teacher here in Michigan, just outside of Flint. It was brought to me by my principal. She had asked if I would be interested in becoming part of our crisis response team. And it just so happened that in November, my son was involved in the Oxford High School shooting on November 30th. He's a student at Oxford High School. And so I really felt drawn to get involved in my own school's threat assessment and crisis team, because I want to save my own students from ever dealing with what my son's been going through, and other parents from going through what I have experienced as a result of the Oxford tragedy. I can't say enough how much I got out of this training and how good I feel about this program. My number one is the fact that it's a team effort. It's not just one person or even two people that are looking through a situation. If a threat comes up, it's a team. There are a number of different eyes on it throughout the school. Like in my school, we have general ed teachers, we have special ed teachers, our principal, our dean of students, our counselor, and our social worker. We're all working together as a team. And that way I feel like we are covering all the bases. There isn't a stone left unturned. So if there is a threat, we get deep into everything and uncover how likely is this threat to occur, to become a reality, or is it not so much of a threat? And I like that team because we support each other. And I feel like when we walk away from something, we know we have done the best job. I also like how detailed it is. There are so many steps to go through. You have questions for whoever came down and said something and said, hey, I overheard this. You have interview questions for them. You bring in parents or guardians and you have questions for them about what's going on at home that sometimes you don't know about, that might have an influence on what's going on. I like how thorough everything is in the paperwork. It's in today's world, it's nice to have that you can go back and say, this is what we did. If someone questions, if something happens and they come back to you and say, show us what you did, we've got that written down documentation that we went through all of these steps. And again, it wasn't just one person making the call, it was a team effort. And I also like, there's been studies done, it's evidence. It's not just hey, let's see if this works. It has been something that's been researched, it's been practiced. Other places, other schools, they have used it. There's some science in a way behind that. Everything in education is supposed to be evidence-based. We want research, we want something to back it up, and this program has that. I just feel 100% that CSTAG makes my district safer. It makes my kids in my classroom safer. And that's my number one goal. Is I tell my students at the beginning of the year, my number one job is to make sure that you're safe. Education and teaching and all the content, that will come. But I want you to feel safe, because if you don't feel safe, you can't learn. And this helps make a safer environment. The world's changed. Unfortunately, I don't like that the violence in the schools and school shootings is part of life now. I wish we could change things. It is part of life. I want other schools to be as prepared as I feel my district is now. I want them to have the policy and procedures in place, and that's what CSTAG gives. There are clear-cut policies and procedures. You're not just fumbling through, going, okay, we heard this and the kid said this, now what? You know exactly how to respond, and you know exactly what steps you need to take to make sure your building is secure. And in today's world, that's got to be our number one. We can't change, what goes on out in politics and legislation. We can control what goes on in our buildings with a program like this, because it's clear-cut policies and procedures. The training was very thorough. It takes time, but I think it's worthwhile. I liked how we went through scenarios. It took time to reflect on things. I feel like I'm better prepared in case of a threat. If something were to happen, I feel better prepared to deal with it and handle it. That was one of the things that I liked, and what drew me to it as well. I wanted the feeling of control. With what happened in Oxford, I felt out of control, and this helped me bring some control back into my workplace and into my part of the world. I can't say enough about how good I feel about this program and how much I believe in it. I want districts, the whole state, I would like the whole state of Michigan to get behind this program, because I truly 100% believe in it.